Welcome to the Quick Stop F1 podcast. My name is Mario, and you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate it. Today, we have a very special episode. As you can hopefully tell, unless you are actually listening to this on Saturday, it's not the weekend, but F1 is back this week, and my amazing co-host Tasha here and I have put together a fun little episode that is going to help us recap what's happened in the season so far. Yeah. But before we get to that, Tasha, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing really good. We're recording early, so I'm actually full on energy.
Right.
I am going to ask forgiveness to all of our listeners right now. I don't know how this is going to go.
Right.
But it's been fun. I've been enjoying working with you on putting all this together.
Same.
I think we've got something good going, but I'm obviously insanely biased.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we get into this, we're excited to just get into the nitty gritty. But before that, if you are on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed to the Quick Stop F1 channel. Make sure you like, you comment, interact with us. We'll interact with you. We're all friends here. That's pretty parasocial, huh? Now, but whatever you all want to share, we do keep track of the socials of the YouTubes, etc. If you're on Spotify, Apple Music, make sure to download and listen. Give us a like, 5 stars only. We also have a Patreon. Feel free to check that out. If you're interested in inviting Nyasha to your wedding, also get to us in the Patreon. We can figure something out. So Tasha, it's not technically the middle of the season, but it is a very convenient time to just gather up everything that's happened and everything that hasn't happened. But before we go into the awards, let's talk a little bit really quickly about context. Let's put a little context on this by just talking about, we could talk about all the standings and we could give out all the standings, but I would love that, but you would be bored. You all would be bored of that. So I'm just going to go with a quick top 5 of the constructors and drivers, just so that we at least know more or less who's on top. So, super big shocker. If you've watched literally any F1 race and you don't know this, I'd be surprised. We've got Max Verstappen at the top, Checo number 2. We have Alonso, which who would have thought last year? We've got Alonso in 3rd place, just 1 point above Sir Lewis Hamilton, and then Charles Leclerc tied with George Russell for 5th. Yeah,
I didn't realize they were tied.
Me neither. I literally just realized this when I read this for the first time.
Nice.
But Leclerc and Russell are tied at 99, which is interesting. And then Alonso and Hamilton, just 1 point separates them. For our constructors, shocker, we've got Red Bull Racing at number 1. Then we have Mercedes, followed by Aston Martin. So really for the next half of the season, probably that I'm looking at here, Ferrari and Aston Martin are just 5 points separating them. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But with the standings aside, thoughts on the season so far?
I'm trying to see the silver lining of things, right? Like, obviously, with Max and Red Bull kind of sweeping, it is hard to look at the season and find it like super entertaining or extremely entertaining. I have been entertained. There have been moments. But I think overall, like just kind of looking at the progress of the season, it feels a little bit like it's been slow to start, like where there hasn't really been there hasn't really been like a rhythm. I don't know if it's because we've taken like some like extended breaks in between races, like 2 weeks or 3 weeks in between races. It just feels like it hasn't really gotten into like a flow. So I think every time you kind of get excited about a race, it's like, oh, great, the next one's in 2 weeks. And so it kind of kills that momentum a little bit for me. So I think that's adding to the feeling that it's not like as enjoyable, because when we have like the back-to-back races, I always feel like I love this, can't get enough, want to watch it,
Same.
It's forever type of thing. So
Yeah.
That's the general gist I feel for the season itself. But yeah, I feel like there's been some standout stuff. I feel like, Alex Albon, we talk about him basically all season, just his performance.
And we'll keep doing it.
Yeah. The level of performance from him. You have, for me, the story has been like Lewis Hamilton, driving a wheelbarrow and still managing to put in like impressive performances. So like stuff like that, Yuki kind of holding it down back there in the AlphaTauri. So yeah, there's just been like some interesting, cool stuff that's been happening, but it's few and far between, you know? What about you?
Yeah. I agree with everything you've said. Like, I think a really good way to summarize it is if the second half of the season is exactly the same as the first half of the season, I think we're going to talk about this season as it happened.
Right.
It was there. There was a season.
Yeah, that's how it
There
feels.
was races. I don't think we're gonna come out of this season with like. Obviously, we're just guessing, but it doesn't feel like anything super memorable is gonna happen. But that's what you and I are here for. To really dig into the trenches and figure out what we can actually talk about during this season that isn't Max Verstappen related.
Exactly. Exactly.
We have not been shy about repping Alex Albon during this podcast. I think we're both really excited to see more of him, and the consistency that he's brought to the team has been really cool. I think you have as well, like, pretty excited with Oscar.
Yeah.
So that's been one of the storylines that I've most been attracted to is like, this kid's a rookie that found success in previous leagues, but comes to F1 and he's out there. Like, and not to be mean to Logan, but you know, like you see an Oscar fighting Lando. Yeah. Not being very far to Lando, and it's super exciting. So that for me is something I'm definitely gonna want to keep watching for the second season. Yeah. Can you think of any like specific race or moment during a race that it stuck with you?
I think my favorite kind of standout moment was Hungary, the qualies being that like mandatory tire format. I feel like it just like made qualifying so much more fun to watch and so much more interesting to follow. More so than like the sprint races and the stuff that they've been trying to like spice up, you know, the races with. I feel like trying. I feel like this actually accomplished what they were going for. So I felt like I really enjoyed that. And of course, Lewis Hamilton pole at Hungary, 104th pole, like that was a huge, I mean, yes. Okay. Excited because it's Lewis, obviously, but like, excited because it's somebody other than Max on pole, you know, for the first time in a long time. Like it could have been anybody. I think even like at Silverstone when it was like Lando potentially, you know, Lando kind of fighting for.
That was super exciting.
Yeah. So like, it's like the more you see those moments of like somebody else besides, you know, Max or Checo getting a pole is actually very fun to watch. It just brings all that excitement back to the surface. And then of course it's like Lewis. So it adds that extra layer on top. This has been 2 years in the making.
Do we love Sir Lewis Hamilton in this podcast? Absolutely. Do we get a little biased sometimes? Absolutely. But
it's the truth.
I think the Hungary
sometimes
thing,
reality is biased.
The Hungary thing was a summation of so many things and so many moments and so much waiting for it. That regardless of who the driver is, like, it was a pretty cool moment.
It was a great moment. Like, and it was only by like the skin of his teeth. Like
last attempt.
It wasn't even that big of a margin. When you look at the numbers, the margin between them, it was such a small, thin, razor thin margin that's made it even more exciting. Like it wasn't a blowout. It was, I don't know. That was my standout.
No. And I'm just going to ride with that one as well, because to me, it was like, what more proof do you need that the driver does make a difference? Because it really felt like Lewis just giving all of Lewis during that lap. And I'm not saying Lewis is the only one to do that. Max pushes his car really well, etc. Yeah. But you could tell from that lap that it was like the cliche statement of leaving it all out on the court. You really felt that with really that last lap that Lewis put on. Yeah. So I was gonna, I'm piggyback on that one and say absolutely. Absolutely.
It's a good one.
And if you think if anybody thinks we're biased about Sir Lewis Hamilton, go to the Quick Stop F1 Twitter and that's all the proof you want. We are a little bit, but it was really cool.
But is it really a bias? I mean, everybody's biased. I feel like that's such an overused word in F1 of people like, oh, you're biased toward. No, that's who I like.
Can't
that's
say
my
nothing
guy.
nice without being biased. You know? Imagine being a fan of a imagine that. So far, I think it's been enjoyable. We definitely want to see a little bit more spice in the second half. But more importantly, we would love to hear from you all who are listening. Yeah. So we've got a little bit of, in the business, they call it a call to action. Very, very fancy. We would love if you all would tweet at us with either one word to describe the F1 season for you so far, or write us a haiku. Give us a really nice haiku. Just give us a really nice, heartfelt F1 haiku. We promise we will read it on the next show.
Yeah, dramatic reading of your haiku. That would be so much fun.
And I think Tasha and I have proven ourselves very capable of being overly dramatic and unserious about serious things. So we will pull through and we will read that haiku.
Yeah, send us
let
a
us know
haiku.
if you got it in you. Also, you can send us a physical letter if you wanted to, but don't ask our address. Just surprises.
Yeah.
And that way we can also get the restraining order after you figure out where we live. With that said, we're going to go into a quick ad break, but after that, we're trucking on with some F1 awards that I think you'll enjoy. Thank you very much for watching and listening. We've got a ton of awards to go over. The awards vary from all sorts of different things. We thought we got some pretty funny ones. We have some pretty factual ones. With that said, we're just going to go right into the mid-season awards for the 2023 F1 season. The first award category is the best Cinderella story.
And the nominees for the best Cinderella story are Oscar Piastri to the start of his amazing rookie season, Alex Albon, who is performing miracles and bringing stability to the Williams team, and Daniel Ricciardo from being plucked from unemployment to replace Nick DeVries this season.
The winner for best Cinderella story is Oscar Piastri. Truly had, and not out of nowhere, he's had success before, but he comes into F1, shows us that he has what it takes to compete, and really incredible stuff that we saw at the start of the season, at the first half of the season. Can't wait to see the second half.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. And then the next category, we have best onboard drama.
The nominees. And look, we wish this is why radios need to be better. So get on that, F1. You need to fix the quality of these radios. The nominees are GP and Max fighting like an old married couple, saying that it's totally normal. We have Charles Leclerc saying to Carlos Sainz, good overtake in the last corner. It was, in fact, very sarcastic. And the third nominee is Yuki letting his engineer know that his brakes are actually less than ideal during the Monaco GP.
And the winner for best onboard drama goes to GP and Max for tussling at the Belgian GP.
If there's more of that in that was a good one. If there's more of that in the second half of the season, I will welcome it.
I'm sure there will be. GP's already like that after 10 races.
Imagine the 23rd GP is going to leave.
Yeah.
Max is going to have that comfortable lead, and GP's going to be like, all right, Max, I'm starting my vacation early. See you.
Yeah. Peace out.
The next category for awards is the Good Until It Wasn't award.
Yeah. And the nominees for this category are Checo, Fernando Alonso, and Scuderia Ferrari.
We tried to really go into who in Ferrari, but really, I think it's just the whole thing.
It's the whole team.
You just need to fix the whole thing. Just go into it. Tear some walls down, open floor concept. The winner for the Good Until It Wasn't award is from Aston Martin, Fernando Alonso. I hear that after he didn't get a podium, all of them were going to be podium. But
happens. All right. For the next category, we have best underfloor.
Look, we're into the drama. We're into all this, but these are feats of engineering. These are modern marvels, generational creations of Formula One cars. The level of effort, the level of design, intricacies that goes into the design of these cars is really incredible. And I, for one, know exactly where I was the day I witnessed all of these. The best underfloor nominees are Mercedes at the Monaco GP, Red Bull at the Monaco GP, and Williams at the Spanish GP.
And the winner of Best Underfloor goes to Williams F1 team.
No competition!
No one's seeing their floor. No one's seeing that floor.
Can your F1 car floor also work as a surfboard? No, it cannot.
Can your F1 floor also be a bobsled? Absolutely not. It's called multitasking. Y'all are not ready. Yeah.
Yo, this F1 season isn't all year. We've got sledding to do. We've got surfing to do. There's a lot of Williams is in a lot of different.
Yeah, good for Williams.
The next category. We talked about onboards, but this is a special kind of onboard. This is George Russell's most George Russell onboard.
Yeah. The nominees for this category are Is It Raining? Helmet Moment at the Spanish GP. Bloody Nora, the most British man in the world at the Spanish GP. Or Ah Sugar, Self-Censoring King at the Azerbaijan GP.
The winner is Ah Sugar from the Azerbaijan GP. Do you think George Russell has a switch, an on-off switch, but instead it's PG-13? Or is he just a PG kind of person?
Yeah, I think he's like a G person, to be quite honest. Like, he keeps it real clean, 90% of the time. That's a lot of restraint, I think, to be able to just censor yourself in the moment, Like, that's a skill. That is a skill. So shout out to George for being George.
Shout out to George for being the Kids Bop version of an F1 driver. You really do it, man. You really out here doing it. The best thing about George Russell is every time they do a kids broadcast, they can just strictly show George Russell. It's the same thing. No need to censor. No need for anything.
Right. I love that for
Next
him.
category.
All right. So this one goes out to all of those teammates that I wouldn't want to have on my team, let's say. No. This is called The Call is Coming from Inside the House Award.
It'd be your own teammate sometime. And the nominees are Alonso, advising Stroll of the perfect brake settings. Tasha, could you remind me how that ended up?
Not well. Let's just say that. Yeah.
Right. Nominee number 2. We have Christian Horner consoling Max after his loss in Azerbaijan GP by saying, Checo was just lucky with that safety car. Sometimes I think he forgets that Checo is also on his team.
And that the radios are broadcasted on television.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then one of my personal favorite onboard drivers, Carlos Sainz, being very, very diplomatic during his onboard and saying, I think it's a bit unfair what you're asking me to do there. During the British GP, team orders, that man.
He was not having it.
No.
And the winner for The Call is Coming from Inside the House Award goes to Fernando Alonso for helping Lance Stroll with his brakes. Yeah.
Wow. It's just, you don't get, nowadays, we get very little instant gratification. And that was as instant as it could get. Yeah. And I'm a little bothered. We'll never know whether Alonso was being truly helpful or if he was actually trying to mess him up.
And that's why he's the winner, because you just don't know.
Exactly.
Did it come from a place of malice, or was he really trying to help the owner's son? Like, we'll never know.
We will never know. Next category. This category is Best Driver in a Supporting Role. Tasha, who are our nominees for this prestigious award?
Yeah, shout out to all the number 2s this season who have really been holding it down for their teammates.
For that second driver energy.
Yeah. So our nominees are Sergio, what's wrong with Max? Perez at the Austrian GP during their lap 1 tussle. Carlos, struggling to see the positives. Sainz Jr. after being denied team orders at the Austrian GP. Or George, tell Lewis to put his foot down Russell at the Belgian GP.
The winner for Best Driver in a Supporting Role is Carlos Sainz Jr., who to this day is still struggling to see the positive after being denied those team orders. Checo, that's a great question. What is wrong with Max? I feel like it's multiple things. I feel like that's a long conversation to have. If you find out, let us know. Okay, next up.
Next up, these people have been targeted, let's say, this season. This is the FIA hit list category.
The FIA doesn't mess around. So we get word of these little happenings during races. We gathered these 3 nominees. Gunther Steiner, pissing off the stewards for saying, hey man, maybe professional stewards would be helpful. Not professional stewards. Paid, trained stewards would be good for the safety of the sport. Sir Lewis Hamilton getting 5-second penalties plus 2 points for his minor collision with Checo. And honestly, you can also say about Lewis, just let the guy wear jewelry. We're adults here.
Yeah.
Like, just let the man wear jewelry. It's honestly, if you think about it, he's handicapping himself. Because, like, jewelry is heavy. So your car's going to go slower. So just let the man.
Yeah, those double nose rings really add a lot of tense to your car. Yeah.
And the third nominee is... Look, I'm surprised he got out of jail in time to go to his next GP, but it is Esteban Ocon's pileup of penalties during the Bahrain GP. 5 seconds for incorrect grid spot, 10 seconds for working on the car early, plus another 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane by a whopping 0.1 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, they were on his ass that day.
I think there was a quota that they had to fill that day. FIA was behind in the quota, and they were like, "Esty bestie, yeah, well, let me talk to you real quick."
And the winner for FIA hit list goes to the one and only Lewis Hamilton, not only for those penalties and the unnecessary points on his license, but like you said, all of the targeted jewelry stuff from earlier in the season. It's just been an ongoing situation. Yeah, he's on their list for sure.
I think we can agree Sir Lewis Hamilton is probably a great guy to hang out with.
Yeah.
I think the FIA just likes having him over, talking to him.
Yeah.
Maybe taking a selfie with him afterwards. The next award is Best New Cast Member for Team Principles.
Mm-hmm. The nominees for Best New Cast Member are Fred Vasseur at Ferrari, James Vowles at Williams, and Andrea Stella at McLaren.
And the winner is James Vowles for Williams.
That was deserved.
That was well deserved.
Yeah.
I, for one, like the, not openness, but not clarity. Transparency. Thank you. Mm-hmm. The transparency that James Vowles has when he talks. And we mentioned earlier the award of the underfloor. He came out and spoke about the underfloor. Things are not great. Yeah. Things aren't great, but like they know it and they're doing their best to fix it. And it is encouraging to see from such a historic team. What I will say is F1 TV is how I watch F1 mostly. Mm-hmm. They love Fred Vasseur. Oh my God, they love Fred
He's lovable. Mm-hmm.
He is, yeah. He's got like a personality, which I think is rare for people to have. So they love interviewing him. Excuse me. So, next category.
Mm-hmm.
It is most surprising team performance.
The nominees for most surprising team performance are McLaren, their turnaround in recent races, Aston Martin for their start to the 2023 season, and Williams' consistency during the season.
And the winner for most surprising team performance is Aston Martin's start of the season.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think they could see it coming.
Lawrence saw it coming. We didn't see it coming. That's what he paid for. He was like, listen, this is what all them checks was written for. He knew it was coming. We didn't believe them, though.
I think Alonso didn't believe it. And then he got that first podium and it was like, ooh, this can happen.
Spicy. Yeah. Because, I mean, again, you put it in the context of like this with Mercedes, for example, you know, their car issues and saying like, oh, because the cost cap, like we can't make all these, you know, upgrades and stuff to make the car faster. And then Aston comes out And it's like, wait a minute, I thought you said this wasn't possible. Like they're battling basically with Red Bull at the beginning of the season. So yeah, well deserved.
Yeah, I think Lawrence Stroll, instead of saying "hold my beer," said "hold my billion."
Right. Right. Absolutely.
So the next award is dedicated to the man who must be bored. Because, you know, we can say a million things about it, but for today, all we'll say is Max Verstappen has won a few races, I would say.
Just a handful.
He's been in first place. A little bit, I would say. So this next award is titled the He Can't Keep Getting Away With This Award.
So the nominees for this category are him winning in Canada despite having a dead bird stuck in his brake duct. Number 2 is the fastest lap when they told him not to and after getting a black and white flag due to track limits in the Spanish GP. And the last nominee is snatching up the fastest lap from his own teammate in Austria.
That must be Max would never. That must be we wrote that wrong. Probably. The winner, the winner for He Can't Keep Getting Away With This. Look, Adrian Newey designs a heck of a car, but the fact that he can design a car that can have a dead bird inside of it and still win a race, that's amazing. The winner is having a dead bird stuck in your brake duct.
I mean, how, like, let's be for real though. What happened to the days where you used to DNF? You know, for having something in your brake ducts. This man roasted a whole pigeon for a whole race and still won by like 26 seconds or something. So
Lewis can't wear a watch during a race, but Max can add a whole dead bird to his car. That's okay.
Hey.
Okay.
Maybe it's, I don't know. Red Bull gives you wings.
Boo. Oh, man.
Okay.
Get out of here.
There's something.
I see myself out.
Red Bull there's something. Well, yeah. You're the only co-host I have, so please don't leave.
Right.
Tasha, it's time we be serious.
Yeah.
Tasha, this is time to be serious. Look, Tasha and I are blessed to be working together in such a momentous time in F1. Tasha and I haven't worked more than one season of F1 together, and we are already witnessing greatness.
History.
So we could not put awards together without the following to honor the illustrious career that he had. The next category is the Nick DeVries Lifetime Achievement Award. Tasha, who are our nominees?
I really thought I was going to keep it together. Hold on.
I got us through that.
Of course, I ruined it. I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. All right. The nominees for the Nick DeVries Lifetime Achievement Award go to Checo. Okay. Logan Sargent and Kevin
rookie, but
Magnussen.
You're still not doing great.
Listen, I mean, we've only had 10 races, right? So this is just based off of the season that we've had so far. And yeah, these 3 have not had a stellar season, let's say.
In comparison to Nick DeVries, very stellar.
Right. Yes.
It wasn't. The winner of the first ever Nick DeVries Lifetime Achievement Award, which really represents, like Tasha mentioned, just a bad stretch of races, you know?
Yeah.
10 races, not doing your best.
Not great.
There can only be one, and that is Sergio Perez. Sergio.
We had to grade this on a curve. Yeah, exactly. You
drive a Red Bull.
Yeah.
You know what the other Red Bull is doing? If you don't do that and you do the thing that you've been doing, you are our first recipient of the Nick DeVries Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations.
He's winning.
He's winning something. It ain't racist.
Exactly.
Before we move on to an ad break, we must continue this seriousness because it is time to honor those who are gone, but not forgotten. This is our in memoriam. So first, who have we lost this season, Tasha?
We have lost the man himself, Nick DeVries.
we have lost as well from the Alpine team, Otmar. I'm not going to try. Otmar and Alan Permet.
And from AlphaTauri, we will be losing Franz Tost.
We wish you all the best in the next chapter of your careers. I cannot promise that we will remember your names 6 months from now. We're back, and guess what? We have more awards. You know? So let's just go right into it. Tasha, can you introduce the category for the next award?
Yes, so this one we're going to be giving to the best social media presence. I really felt like we've been seeing some interesting approaches to social media this year from the teams. A lot of them have taken a less corporate approach and just been more personable and more like fun, more like a human connection has been developed with these teams. So best social media presence is the award, and these are the nominees.
First nominee is Aston Martin. They've really they've done a lot, and by a lot I mean specifically they have Mike Crack doing Q&As for the technical stuff. They have a lot of Alonso videos. Their TikTok is pretty good. The only thing I must say, I didn't love the Taylor Swift arc with Fernando Alonso, but you got to do what you got to do. Right. It was free views, I think. Second nominee is Ferrari. They have a lot of they call it the C2 challenge with Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. Honestly, for whatever they say, those two are really good on camera, and it is fun to watch. Mm-hmm. And our third nominee is McLaren. We talked about the video that they posted when they went to summer break, which, by the way, definitely not Oscar and Lando, but they were wearing their race suits, and I, for one, loved the vibe of that video. The other post from McLaren that I really like is when they leaned into the Nico Rosberg selfie thing, and they posted no Nico Rosberg selfies here.
Nice.
Those are your nominees.
And the winner for best social media presence goes to Aston Martin. And like we said, I think it just has to do with this like human element that they're kind of injecting into their posts. They're shooting a lot on film, and they're shooting a lot on like analog video, like they're using camcorders. It just feels very organic and fun and fresh. And I feel like I wish more teams did that. So Aston deserves this. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like you said, like it's a slippery slope when a company or a corporation tries to appeal to seem more human. Mm-hmm. Like that is a very easy thing to miss, to become kind of cringe or difficult to watch. But Aston Martin really have put together a great team, social media team.
Yep. They nailed it.
The next category is best merch drop. Mm-hmm. We have some, all these teams have team apparel and everything, but there are some drivers who are doing it differently. Yes. Having their own merch line, having a really unique approach to fashion in F1.
Yep. So our nominees for this category are Daniel Ricciardo with his brand Enchanté. He drops something pretty much every race, even when he wasn't. So I love his kind of vibe, and the way that he treats his line is very personal to him. Mm-hmm. And then we have Yuki, who actually just launched his own merchandise that will be available soon. And Lewis Hamilton for Plus 44. And you had a favorite from last season, but this season he's had a few drops as well. His Silverstone one was really cool. His young self printed on T-shirts and things like that. So those are our nominees.
Absolutely. The winner, before I say anything else, the winner for best merch drops. Don't call it a bias. It's a great drop, and it's a great clothing line. It has nothing to do with the fact that Sir Lewis Hamilton is the one who runs it. Also, the best merch out there in F1 is made by Quickstop F1. So this really is a fight for second place. And Sir Lewis Hamilton does, in fact, have second place.
Yeah.
I am a sucker for Murakami. And he did a collab with him in Singapore and
Japan.
Yes, Japan. That is the one. Exactly. Thank you. And I bought 2 of those shirts, and I love that collab.
Yeah.
And like you said, the Silverstone one was really cool as well.
Yeah.
So
And Miami, what I really like about his merch drops is that they're getting a bit more interactive. So he's actually launching pop-ups. It's just kind of like changing the game a little bit. It's not just like, releasing it online and like calling it a day, which is fine. That works. But like because he's such a figure, it's the potential to maybe meet him or to shop the collection in person, obviously meet up with other Lewis Hamilton fans. So there's like this interactive element to the plus 44 drops that I think are really cool that add to the merchandise themselves. But I will say, to Daniel Ricciardo's credit, I really like the way that he launches and rolls out his products as well. He did a cinema style commercial with Kirsten Bell.
Kristen Bell,
yeah. That was pretty good. So yeah, the merch is cool. The merch is merching. Yeah.
The merch is merching, and in this house,
yeah,
we wear whatever you want to send us. So plus 44 and Enchante, if you need us wearing some merch, Tasha and I can make that happen.
Yeah.
Next category. So I think our next category is the best helmet designer. Obviously, we know that designing helmets is it's a collaborative thing. The drivers aren't literally painting these helmets or anything, but you can really tell that there's a personal style in the nominees that we've chosen, and you can really tell that they do have a lot of say in the concept of how their helmets are designed.
Mm-hmm. So the nominees for Best Helmet Designer are Valtteri Bottas for pretty much everything he's done in 2023. Many, many standouts. You have Lando for his Google Chrome helmet, the beach ball,
you can
Master
see yourself on that one.
Chief. Yeah. And then Alex Albon for Silverstone. His golf helmet was awesome. The golf ball. So yeah, we had a lot of good ones from these three, I think.
But there can only be one. The winner for best helmet design. And it wasn't really close in my eyes. It's Valtteri Bottas. We are going to have, I should have said this a long time ago, but if you are listening and not watching, recommend you go to YouTube and check out the video element for this episode. We will have pictures of the helmets that we are referring to.
Yep. But yeah, Valtteri is that guy when it comes to helmet design. I mean, he has not missed once. No. Since he got that mullet, he has not missed. So yeah, I'm obsessed. Like his personality is shining a lot this season, especially in the last 10 races or so. So yeah, the helmet by extension is just like a really big expression of his personality, and it's kind of nice that it's like we're getting to see more of that. So yeah,
absolutely.
Yep.
The next category. I'm sorry. The next category is worst grid walk moments. Now, this is the first ever award show that we do. Just want to let you all know that we will be changing the name of this category to the Martin Brundle Bundle of Bungles Award. Tasha, we almost got through it. The nominees.
The nominees are Martin at the Belgian GP asking the crowd, "Do you speak English?"
Does anybody speak English? Please.
I can't even. Then you have Red Bull stopping Martin Brundle with him trying to get an interview and the engineer cursing live on TV. Next, you have Sir Jackie Stewart almost getting kicked out when he was trying to accost Roger Federer during Miami.
The winner for this award. And if you notice with the nominees, we breezed by the whole misogyny, xenophobia, foul language during the broadcasting, and then just skipped that and went into the winner of this award is the Belgian GP, when Martin Brundle was desperately seeking someone who spoke his own language. Maybe Martin Brundle should learn the language of the place where he's actually at instead of expecting everybody to speak English.
Perhaps, yes.
Perhaps. Next category.
The next category is the Tire Whisperer Award.
This award goes to all those drivers who can get real close in the ear of those tires, whisper sweet nothings into its ear, and the tire says, "I'll go one more lap for you. I'll do one more lap."
And really, this is a shout out to Pirelli too. This is all on you and your everlasting tires. So the
Pirelli,
nominees.
I legit need new tires for my car.
Yeah.
And I will put Pirellis on my Ford Focus.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some softs on our Mini Cooper outside.
Absolutely.
We're gonna
and when
be-
it's raining,
Yeah.
ooh, put the wet
Inters,
on.
yeah.
Ooh. No, I'm not that
Oh, yeah,
good of a
you're-
driver.
yeah.
I gotta get on the wets.
Oh, okay, I was gonna
can't drive
say
the
you're also in a
Inters.
tropical climate, so you probably have way more rain than we get up here.
True.
Full wets.
So the nominees for the Tire Whisperer Award are Alex Albon, Kevin Magnussen, and Esteban Ocon.
And the winner of the Tire Whisperer goes to Alex Albon, who drove 58 out of 70 laps on hards in Canada.
He is actually, I double checked the stats and everything just out of curiosity. And that is actually the longest stint of any driver this season on any set of tires. So he has legit driven the longest tire stint of the season.
That's wild.
On a Williams, don't forget.
Yeah.
On a Williams. This next category, and this one is both near and dear to our hearts, but it was very easy to come up with the nominees as well. The next category is the Eat Your Words Award. Who are our nominees for this one, Tasha?
Yeah, I bet they all wish they could take this back.
Ooh,
The
I think
nominees
so.
for this category go to George Russell for his comments about how he was faster than Lewis. Fernando Alonso, who told us that he would only be getting podiums from now on. And Nick DeVries, who was said to be the leader of AlphaTauri, who also said he didn't want to be treated like a rookie. And yeah, we all see how these have worked out.
Hey, he got an award named after him, Tasha. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The winner for and I'm sorry to the nominees, we actually can only give you an award. We cannot go back in time and actually have you eat the word, so you got to still live with them.
Yeah.
The winner is George Russell, who allegedly is faster than Lewis Hamilton. Apparently, that's what they said.
Question mark?
I'm not going to say them on air, George, but I read the stats and I got the numbers. So if I were to bring up the receipts, you're not faster than Lewis, man. Not yet. Maybe you will be when Lewis retires and Lewis is driving a regular car. Maybe you'll be faster than him then. But don't say things that you can't even back up with numbers in a sport that is heavily driven by numbers.
Preach.
Congratulations, here's Russell.
And our next category goes to the teams that we believe, right, might have a little bit of funny accounting happening. Therefore, we would like to award the most likely to provide delicious catering.
These are high-performance athletes eating high-performance food. And
Yeah.
that ain't cheap. That
Yeah.
ain't cheap. And if you got to, go outside the lines. First nominee is a shocker. Red Bull Racing. Second nominee, Aston Martin. I'm sorry, but if you look up and you look at Lawrence Stroll and you see the bags of money that man has. The third nominee, allegedly, Mercedes. So Tasha, if I go to a race and I get a paddock pass somehow, we get a paddock pass somehow, where do we go for the best food?
I'm still going to head over to the Red Bull catering room. It's going to be delicious. It's going to be delicious.
Do you think Nick is working the kitchen because of his contract until the end of the year?
That is so terrible.
That is mean, huh?
So
That is pretty mean.
terrible.
I'm sorry, Nick.
Oh, no.
You know it's not terrible? The food at Red Bull. Next category. Tasha and I talk about, not Tasha and I, only because Chris as well, we've talked about a lot about race posters that these different teams put out before each race. I was a big fan of them a long time ago, and we were talking, and we basically all line up. So the next category is Best Race Week Poster. So actually, I guess a little bit better wording would be the team that has the best race week posters.
The nominees are Mercedes for the Spanish GP, Alfa Romeo at the Belgian GP, and McLaren at the Hungarian GP.
And the winner for the best race poster goes to Alfa Romeo from the Belgian GP. And
Good one.
in general, and I think in general, so just a quick description, that's the one where a lot of video game elements with Minecraft design, which sounds lame as a concept, but you got to understand we are doing the kids are coming over to do F1 content. They're doing the Minecraft thing on this. It's actually it makes a lot of sense to bring new audiences. Plus, the company has a video game aspect as well. So, congrats to Alfa Romeo. Next category.
We have best unintentional meme.
The nominees for unintentional meme. I don't know if you guys have seen the intro, but George Russell with his hands stretched. The first few weeks of Formula One, you could not get away from that picture.
Right.
I think they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Because, I think they knew what they were doing. Number 2, Pierre Gasly and Charles Leclerc in Wimbledon. I apologize. And third nominee, Yuki Tsunoda, which we titled this one as simple as, ooh.
I love that one. Boo, get out of here. And the winner of this category is Yuki Tsunoda. Boo.
Get out of here.
I've sent that one at least 6
Go
times.
away.
Every day I say that for no reason.
For no reason other than remembering Yuki.
Yeah.
We've talked about fashion. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the best hair statement. So once you see the nominees, I think this will be pretty explanatory, but some drivers put a little bit more emphasis to their hair than others. Who are our nominees?
The nominees are Valtteri Bottas mullet, which, yeah, we love that. Alex Albon, who dyed his hair blonde at the beginning of the season, just went straight platinum. Love that for him. And Nico Hülkenberg, who has also gone platinum this season.
No, and it has nothing to do with Barbie, nothing to do with the fact he did on the same weekend that the movie came out, nothing to do that he has Ken in his name, nothing to do with it being blonde. All of it is unrelated.
Right.
The winner for best hair statement is, and I'm very happy to give this one out, Valtteri Bottas and his, look, it's a mullet, but the man pulls it off.
It's a mullet, but there's levels to mullets. He's towing
He is
that
the
line,
mullet.
Yeah. He's towing the line
doesn't
between
have a
Joe
mullet.
Dirt, you know what I'm saying? It could be, it could have gone left. It's still pretty chic, it's chic. It's giving personality, but he's.
I really think Bottas would tell you, no, a mullet isn't a hairstyle, it's a lifestyle.
Right.
I really feel like he would wear a shirt that says that.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, business in the front, party in the back. And I would say that absolutely exemplifies Valtteri Bottas.
Absolutely. We're not giving an award for Instagram accounts, but I enjoy Valtteri Bottas' Instagram account. It's like a collection of side quests that he goes on.
Right. Exactly. All right. And then our next category is favorite podium combo.
There's going to be something, there's going to be a common denominator in the winner, in the nominees for this award. But nominee number 1, and this is the collection of the 3 people that went to the podium. Nominee number 1 is the Champions Podium. This happened both in Australia and Canada. This podium was Max Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, and Sir Lewis Hamilton. Podium number 2, or nominee number 2, the British are coming in the British GP. This podium was Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, and Sir Lewis Hamilton. And finally, the third nominee is the Are We Back podium, including Max Verstappen, Sir Lewis Hamilton, and George Russell.
And the winner of favorite podium combo goes to the champions, Verstappen, Alonso, and Hamilton at Australia and Canada. I love the Canada one too because Nui was up there with them. So it's just like,
Yes. Ooh, that's another legendary person.
Right.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's really. Look, whatever you think about Verstappen, Alonso, put that aside for a second. Understand, like it is
Boo.
these
No, I'm
three.
just kidding. The Yuki meme.
Get him out of here! Get him out of here!
here.
The British are coming would have been my favorite podium if another British driver would have gotten in there, but that would mean Verstappen wouldn't win, and that doesn't. We don't get that this season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Verstappen is in every podium.
Right. That's his podium, and everybody. I like. We didn't include this in best like memes, but I will say there is this this like ongoing kind of meme on like F1 Reddit where it's like Max's cool down room, but it's like as a podcast. So every time that there's somebody, two new people, he's like, these are my guests. So I really do like that one. That's funny because I like Photoshop the drivers into the
even
podcast
Lando,
studio.
even Lando tweeted it out.
Yeah.
Like, next episode, new episode next week, saying that he would get on the cool armor.
Exactly.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Our next award, I believe, the category is Father of the Year award.
Yes. Yeah.
Who are our nominees?
These nominees, it's like, is it delusion or is it love? Who knows? But here are our nominees. We have Lawrence Stroll, who says that he believes that Stroll and Alonso will be equal by the end of the season. You have Anthony Hamilton for saying that his son needs to love the car. And you have Checo's dad, who believes that Max and Checo's rivalry has basically been comparable to Prost and Senna. Yeah. This is a father's love. I mean, this is dads aren't gonna, they're not gonna, they love you.
I think this is love.
Yeah.
I think this is, and that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Is it delusional statements based on love? Sure.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. Sure. Yeah.
But it's love, and that's nice. And so the Father of the Year award goes to Lawrence Stroll for saying Lance Stroll is definitely going to end up equal to Alonso by the end of the season.
Yeah.
Now, Tasha said that Lawrence Stroll said that he just said Lance Stroll is going to be better. Not better, equal than Alonso.
Equal. Exactly. He didn't say what direction they were going to go in.
I think that wasn't a statement as much as a
oh.
Hey, Lawrence Stroll, the guy who signs your paycheck, Alonso. My son and you will be equal by the end of the season.
If you know what I'm saying.
You know what? The pen still has ink. And for it to still have ink, you and Lance, like that, man. Like that, I didn't. Okay. I think it's more of that kind of thing.
Got it. Yeah, you're right. Well, let us see. Let's see what happens.
Let us see.
Our next category are basically the drivers that we felt like just really put in good performances despite their car situation, team situation. They're just making shit happen. So This is the Got That Underdog in Him award.
The nominees for the Got That Underdog in Him. Oscar Piastri, leading a race, although briefly, against Max Verstappen in the Belgian GP. Alex Albon and his insane defensive driving with 59-lap old tires during the Canada GP. And this isn't even during a GP or anything. This is just a whole season. It's Yuki Tsunoda versus everybody.
Everybody.
Okay?
Everybody. Yuki versus Nick. Yuki versus Daniel. Yuki versus his engineer. Yuki versus his brakes. Like, everybody.
Line them up, knock them down.
Marco. Everybody. Get out of here.
Everybody. Just put all GPs, all season, Yuki,
period. And on that note, the winner for that Got That Underdog award in him is Yuki. And yeah, it's his.
It's well deserved. He beat Daniel Ricciardo for the first time ever in his career. I have no idea how he's putting... Like, look, the AlphaTauri put Nick out of a job. Yuki's putting that in 10th and 11th consistently. So...
He's fighting a lot. We love Yuki.
You're doing great. Yuki.
I love Yuki.
Because you can really tell. And it's not like... You can see that he's trying. You can see that he's changed this season. You can see that There really is it really feels like a new Yuki.
Yeah.
And best of luck to him during this season.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, we have tackled all of the different awards that we created, except for 2 special sections. But first, we're going to go to an ad break. Thank you for joining us if you're still here, and we'll see you in a bit. So we still have 2 sections of awards to get through, and the next section is the first annual F1 Quickies. Look, Tasha and I, we get along really well. We like to talk. So sometimes we go long. So we recognize that, and we're working on that, and that is why
Are we?
we are shining. I got to say that.
Are we? Yeah.
That's why we're shining a light. Quickies are important too. It's not always about the long ones, you know. Sometimes there's time for a quickie.
Gotta
And
get in
sometimes
there,
it's great. You know. So with that said, give us the first category and award for our first annual F1 Quickies.
Like Mario said, this is quick, short, and sweet. There was no need to nominate multiple people for these awards. Okay, these are the winners. All right. So this first award goes to our best villain, and it is Emperor Palpatine. I mean, Helmet Marko.
He looks like a villain.
My
He
God.
talks like a villain.
My God, that man. Evil personified. It just oozes out of his pores. So yeah, shout out to Helmet.
Would I be surprised if Helmet Marko shoots lightning from his hands? No. Would I be impressed? Absolutely. But would I be surprised? Would I be like, I never saw this coming? Nah, I watched the movies. I know how it's like.
Right.
The next F1 Quickie. Best driver to drive with broken wrist. If you remember, there's only one man for this award, and that is soon to be equal to Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll.
Good for him.
The
That's
things he was
impressive,
doing.
though. I'm sorry, that is impressive. They were
things he was
both
doing.
broken. Yeah.
You could see what was crazy to me is you could see during FPs that he was like wincing and moving his arms and his hands in a way that you could really tell that they were broken. And then the race happens and he does how he did, and it's like, okay,
Adrenaline kicked in. Yeah.
Yes, not the good pill. That good stuff.
Next award is most likely to be exploited by Drive to Survive, and it can only go to Daniel Ricciardo. That's their guy. They lost him and got him back within 6 months. So can't wait to see that storyline.
We were talking pre-show. It's like, imagine your favorite show. It doesn't matter. This season, they kill off a character, and it doesn't even last the whole season. Like in less than another season, you have that character back with you. I'm sure that they will.
It's giving soap opera. It's giving soap opera.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because that episode where Danny is out, very dramatic. Now what? You're gonna hit
Crying,
me with
tears. Yeah, it was.
All right, next quickie. Best performance inside a performance. I am not going to comment much on this. If you haven't seen it, I really recommend you do. But the winner is the Spot GP Anthem performance. Look it up if you haven't seen it. I will not say more than that.
Oh, wow. I got the fun one. Okay. The next category is captivating, creative, cathartic, coping conduit. And that goes to Charles, Carlos's Conquest Leclerc, and his piano ballad, Miami 23.
Tasha,
Yo, he's been going through it.
Charles. You're Charles. I'm the psychologist. Look, Charles.
Yeah.
You're going through very difficult situations right now. I need you to be able to express yourself
In a healthy way.
in a way that you can really channel the energies of the season so far. What are your thoughts?
He's like, let me go get my piano. I got just the thing.
I got just
the thing.
Just the thing. And that's how Charles Leclerc started his piano career. Our next category is the Gut Punch Award. And I felt like I was punched in the gut. You felt like you were punched in the gut. We were so excited for Oscar and his Belgium GP qualifying. But then, as Carlos Sainz would say it, the inexperienced Oscar Piastri made a mistake and he was gone lap 1. And that felt like a gut punch.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next category is Best Comedic Performance in a Video. And it goes to Daniel Ricciardo and Yuki in their Miami GP video where Yuki gets thrown in the water and starts yelling about sharks.
Yes. He starts, shark! And you see him swimming toward the boat. My comment is, Danny Rick is a real friend.
Yeah.
We talked about this. Like, look, everybody has different fears, etc. There's no judging of fear. Like, that's all good. But like, Juki's clearly legitimately afraid of like, not maybe the ocean, but sharks being in the ocean. And I think it's a real homie move for Danny not to toss Yuki in the water, but also go with him.
Yeah.
Because I would be pissed if you push me off. If I'm scared of something and you push me into it.
And then you're laughing at me from the deck of the boat.
We're going to have to talk about that and stuff. But like, you go in the water with me. So if there's a shark eats you as well, that's a homie move. You know? Let's both get eaten. Speaking of, the next award is the Unlikely Duo Award. Really, the content that features these drivers is weird and different and very cool.
And fun.
If you haven't seen it, you need to see Valtteri Bottas and Joe Guan Yu in a Punjabi music video. And I'm not.
He's being serious.
I'm not trying to make a joke about it. It's actually something.
They're video vixens together. I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah.
There's one shot where they're walking like Mission Impossible with explosions, and it looked great.
Yeah. Our next award is the Side Mission / Doing the Most Award, and this could only go to Valtteri Bottas. Like, when this man's not in a race car, you don't know his next move. Is he cycling? Is he pouring espresso shots? Like,
is he taking his pants off and going into the water?
Exactly. Is he posing naked? You don't know. So yeah, Valtteri, doing the most. And this goes back to what we said earlier, just like his personality is like blossoming a lot more. So it's been fun to see, I don't know, kind of all the things that he's interested in and like how he gets down when he's not racing. So good for him.
I also love how supportive he is of his partner.
Yeah.
You can see that in between races, he'll be taking pictures like a really proud boyfriend.
Yeah.
Of his partner.
Tiffany,
and of Tiffany doing when she competes in bike races and he's not part of it.
Yeah.
Like, you'll just see him taking pictures of like so proud and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just a really cool thing to see.
Yeah.
Next award, we talked about best helmet, but we also recognized the best livery of 2023 so far. And the winner for that livery, Williams, with their Silverstone livery.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The colors were so good.
It was like classic. It was classic. I think that's it. Just yeah.
We talked. It's very specific, but we talked about what they do with the Duracell battery, and we just both think it's like.
Yeah, the Duracell placement is insane.
Creative.
Yeah.
They make it look like a battery. They placed it in the perfect spot. And we're not saying like cool to add Duracell, but cool the way that they do it. It's not just slapping it in and that's it.
And I mean, given how Alex likes to drive 50 plus laps on a, one set of tires, it's like they keep going and going. So it fits the brand tagline,
It absolutely does. It absolutely does.
It keeps going and going and going. Anyway, our next award goes to Best Flag Waver. And there weren't that many notable ones, but I think Tom Holland is the most fun and funny. He's like seriously waving it, and then he like almost hits himself in the face, and then you just hear him say, "Oh fuck," on camera. Like, so good, classic Tom Holland.
I love when you see the video, just like you said, you can really see the thought process, the machination of it when he's like waving it around like it's a silly flag, and then he's like, "Oh shit!"
Right, it's actually heavy.
He really puts effort into it, especially if you compare it to Tim Cook's.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Next award goes to, or our next category, I'm sorry, is going to be most likely to break your back while celebrating a victory, whether it's a victory in qualifying or he just did really well in free practice. Nobody hugs and nobody celebrates like Zach Brown from the crowd.
Yeah. I don't even think I would want to celebrate near that man. I'd be like, no, I'm good.
You think they signed waivers?
Air hug, If not, they need to going into the next half of the season. Yeah. If their car stays the way that it is and they're able to qualify better than they have been. Yeah. That or everybody's going to be wearing like helmets and like football padding, American football padding in the paddock because, yeah, you could hear it. It sounded like a thunderclap when he was like dapping people up. And oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey, what is wrong
Do these
with
people
you?
have microphones inside their shirt, or is this what is happening?
Anyway, so our next category goes to I can't speak anymore. Oh my God. Most unexpected podium. And it goes to Esti Bestie Ocon at Monaco. That was a good podium and that was a good day.
Literally, I cannot call it anything but unexpected. Like, you did not wake up that day and say, Esti Bestie going to be on that podium.
Esti Bestie's on podium, baby. Yeah.
Our final F1 quickie goes to the best simulator driver to actually get mentioned at any point. And the winner for that one, putting the most into the simulator work for Mercedes, working late Saturday nights, sending Texas or Lewis Hamilton with actual brake differential settings that won't make him crash his car. It is Mick Schumacher.
Yeah. He's been clutch.
Yeah. It's
He's
cool
coming
to hear,
clutch.
like, very cool to hear, like, the team say, I think, it's very cool to see just, like, any sort of appreciation because they don't need to. They can just not say that. And that's okay. They don't have to talk about Mick being the simulator because nobody really does that. So it's cool that they took the time to say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wraps up the section of the first annual F1 Quickies. The final awards that we have might be the most important ones because we did not choose the winners for the following awards. These awards were tweeted out in the Quickstop F1 Twitter. Tasha and I retweeted them. We put some questions out. You all gave us votes. We appreciate you so much for that. But without further ado, these are the tweet awards, meaning the awards that the people's
choice. Yes.
People's Choice Awards. Unless that's copyrighted.
Right.
Then we'll
for legal reasons, yeah. Well, yeah.
So, Tasha, can you give us the first category for the first tweet award?
Yeah, so the tweet award first category is for best guest appearance at Silverstone GP. All the stars came out. It was a great day. And yeah, there was just like lots of familiar faces in the crowd. So
the nominees are, if you stop dating them, please call me Shakira. Number 2 is Roscoe. And the third nominee is Damson Idris, filming Apex.
And the winner is Roscoe Hamilton.
The only applause I've given all show is for Roscoe.
Yeah, that's the hardest working man in the paddock right there. Like,
he's working like 3 jobs.
Roscoe. Here they put a camera on him. They were like, "You're coming to visit your dad, but we're gonna make you film content." So
no, it's not bring your son to work day. It's put your son to work at work day.
And speaking of the filming, did you hear that Roscoe actually might be in the movie? I think there was an article about that.
I heard that. Yeah.
So pulling double duty.
He has a modeling thing, doesn't he, as well?
Yep.
Sheesh. Must be nice.
Must be nice.
We could probably. I'm not gonna. Oh, we could make money being Roscoe's assistant. That's a sad one.
Yeah, whatever he needs.
The next award is aptly called the "I'm Leaving with Something" award. Max Verstappen is leaving with most of the first places. The other drivers are doing special things as well. Who are nominees for Leaving with Something?
The nominees for I'm Leaving Here with Something are Lewis Hamilton setting the fastest lap on mediums at the Belgian Grand Prix. We have Yuki Tsunoda getting his lick back. So he got points while Danny finished P17 in the Belgian Grand Prix. And then you have Lando Norris, who got to lead his home race for a total of 4 laps before being overtaken.
The winner for the "I'm Leaving with Something" award, as voted by the people, Lewis Hamilton's fastest lap on mediums during the Belgian GP. This was cool to see. It was the last lap, I believe, of the race. Look, we mentioned that Lando led for 4 laps. I just need to say that we've driven a total of 724 laps this season so far.
Wow.
Red Bull has led 694 of them.
Wow.
So when you say Lando Norris led for
wild,
4
yeah.
laps, it sounds like nothing, but it's
Yeah.
slim pickings
Exactly.
from the get-go.
See, I'm leaving
Like,
here with something.
You've got literally, there's literally 25 laps up for grabs.
Right.
That's it. So when you say 4 out of 25, he did leave with something. But the winner is Lewis Hamilton and that fastest lap. He took the fastest lap and he took our hearts.
Next category. Oh, this one's fun. This is for Nasha. This is dedicated to him. His Don't Piss Me Off award. You know how it goes, and there's a lot of shit that pisses Nasha off, but this is what we narrowed it down to. These are the nominees for that award.
The nominees, and if you have not seen Quick Stop F1 shorts, we've got those on YouTube and the socials. You need to, because there is a great short on the first nominee, which is George Russell is a snake. Like, come on. Pretend at least.
Yeah.
You know? Number 2, and then this one's close to my heart as well. Checo just forgets to qualify. I don't understand.
Choke.
He just-
He's a choking.
Woo! And number 3, Mercedes car design at the start of the season.
Right.
Nyasha has alluded to a certain operation that the Mercedes car went through recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can agree that it seems that that operation has been a success and should have happened earlier.
Yeah.
The winner for the Nyasha Don't Piss Me Off award
is Mercedes car design at the start of the season. Yeah, because we came in with the old design that was not serving us. And now we don't even...
the BBL thing.
Should have got the BBL
They
sooner.
dot.
Yeah.
They dot.
Yeah.
They dot. You should have gotten. Nobody was gonna judge. This is normal nowadays. Everybody's doing just should have done it at the start of the season.
Well, and you know what's messed up now is that because the car, the chassis that all these upgrades are being built on means that we're really limited. So even though there's been progress with the car moving forward, it's going to be difficult until we can get to the following season, 2024, when they are supposed to be changing out the whole chassis, and then we can kind of build on top of the proper foundation. So yeah, VBL should have happened sooner.
Should have happened sooner.
You live and you
The
learn.
next, yeah. The next category goes out to the other CEO of Quick Stop F1. This category is called Tandy's Third Eye Award. Because she be out here, crystal ball, predicting
Should be knowing. Mm-hmm.
She be knowing. Who are our nominees, Tasha?
Our nominees are Kevin Magnussen, just not being good. He was being masked by Mick Schumacher, dunking on him all season. And now where is he? Number 2, Carlos Sainz is a bum. She said it from the beginning. She did. She's clocked him from the beginning, and not wrong. And the last one, the rise and fall of George Russell. And I will say, she gave him a chance. She tried. Like,
She
you know what I
tried.
mean?
She
She tried.
absolutely tried.
And at the
Absolutely
beginning,
tried.
she was like calling it and people were pushing back. And she was like, okay, she tried. But,
But the winner for
things
the
reveal themselves,
That crystal ball did not lie to her. Tandy's Third Eye Award goes to the rise and fall, especially the fall, of George Russell.
Hate to see it.
Hate to see it.
Well, love that she was right. Hate to see that.
Look,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
What I will say is the Magnussen call, she put that out there so long ago.
Yeah.
People were celebrating because he got that pole last year in
Yes,
qualifying.
yes.
And people were on that boat, and Tandy was like, he drives against a kid.
Right.
You put an adult next to that man, he is not good.
Right.
Turns out he is not good next to an adult.
Yeah.
Turns out he was.
Yeah.
Whew, that wraps up.
We
the
did
3
it!
awards.
Oh my gosh, that was a lot of fun.
Look, if you're still with us and you're still listening,
Yeah.
I hope I hope you liked the awards. What we would love to hear is if you have suggestions for any nominees we might have missed,
Yeah.
if you have suggestions for any categories we might have missed. If you like this, I think Tasha and I are pretty comfortable doing this again, maybe for the end of the season. So we have some time for you all to send us over nominees that you would like or anything that happens during the season that you think would be cool.
Or did
for
you
this
think we
show.
got one wrong? Was there some winners that you don't agree with?
Were we in
Let
fact
us
biased?
know. Yeah. Yes,
we
I'm
let
biased.
out one-
I feel like Nasha and I guess I'm biased. Like there's no
Yes,
question.
like,
yeah.
We don't have to have the
Question,
answer, is
answer, yes.
Okay. Okay. So like if we were biased, just yes.
I'm biased, but
We
listen, I have an appreciation for everybody. I do. Like there's a lot of
Absolutely.
I think for me
We named an award after Verstappen.
yeah.
I mean, we made an award for Verstappen.
He's having fun on his little side missions while he's winning by 30. It's fun. Like, whatever. It is what it is. You can't fight against that. So you might as well
Nah.
have a little fun. Yeah.
So yeah, let us know. You can use more than a word, and you can use something other than a haiku, but you could also do those as
The
well.
haikus would be nice.
It would be.
Yeah.
It would. Who doesn't want to wake up one day and just see a haiku?
Yeah.
You know. What we will say is we are going back to standard post quality reviews. We're still gonna do those. We have a race coming up this weekend, so expect us on Saturday. The main show, Nyasha and Tandy, I'm sure they'll be back for next Monday to break down the race as well. But really, we just want to hear from you all. Chris, Tasha, and I put some work into this, so we just want to make sure that if you enjoyed it or if you think there's always room to grow, and we want to hear from you on how to do so. I have been Mario. You can find me on Twitter, Threads, Instagram at Mario_APM. Tasha, where can the masses find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter, Threads, and Instagram at Tasha. I had to think about that for a second. I was like,
yeah,
what?
right.
Did you
Me
find
too.
me? Yeah.
Me too. Remember, if you're on YouTube, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the Quick Stop F1 channel. If you're on Spotify, Apple Music, make sure to leave those reviews, download the episodes, and let us know what you think. And we have a Patreon for exclusive ad-free content, merch sales, etc. This has been the first ever mid-season F1 award show. We had our first ever. Tasha wanted me to name it something else, but I am a child at heart. We had our first ever annual quickies. And thank you to all who voted for the Tweet Awards.
Yes, thank you guys.
We will see you all soon for the post-qualifying review. But with that, Tasha, take us away, please.
Yes, of course. Guys, no matter what happens, keep it on the black stuff.
Peace.
Look, mate, if you've got this far, clearly you like what we do. So here's a link to subscribe to the Quick Stop F1 family. Give that a click. And here's another link to some more cool on our channel. Sorry, cool stuff. And remember, no matter what happens, keep it on the black stuff. Click the stuff. Click the links. Click the links. Click the links. There. They're there.